As you all know, when an elected official who's the DA is not running again, the funds that are in the narcotics, the asset forfeiture funds, have to be approved for expenditures by the Commissioner's Court. In the last 7 years, we have used the asset forfeiture funds to pay for the equipment that is used in our Digital Forensic and Technical Services Unit. DFATS is one of the it's kind of the go-to service provider for all of our local law enforcement and even in this region.
Excuse me, Ms. Wilson. Sir, it is not proper to display signs in this courtroom. Would you please lower your sign? Thank you. Go ahead, Ms.
So the
Wilson.
request is to use it's about $150,000 of that asset forfeiture fund to pay for the equipment needed, because as as technology improves, we have to improve to meet the same things that we're having to deal with, which is new kinds of cell phones and technical equipment that are used by defendants in criminal cases. And so we need to be able to meet that and work with that kind of equipment. So that is the request. The request from DFATS for this year was for that money, for those expenditures. So that's what this is. It's for the asset forfeiture funds to be used for investigative purposes.
Thank you, Ms. Wilson. We have an audience participation on this item. Mr. Torlin-Kasi.
Commissioner Brooks, commissioners, citizens, and taxpayers listening and watching online and later. I'm opposed to this particular measure. I know it's something that's probably been so routine for 7 years that nobody looks at it very closely. In a lot of modern law enforcement entities across the country in large metro counties, civil forfeiture is both abhorrent, unethical, and unconstitutional. It's pretty convenient both for district attorneys who still embrace it and for law enforcement who enjoy the assets that are taken from citizens without proper adjudication, in some cases without an actual conviction. Let's be practical. In this specific instance, you're going to vote for this. And listed in the back story, in the paperwork, as investigative items are gun range costs, body cameras, body armor, and other items. I'm not a law enforcement expert, but I don't think those are investigative. But if you're going to approve this money and give it to the district attorney's office, I suggest these investigative outlays. If there are any rape kits that need to be tested, pay for those. DNA tests, pay for those. Maybe investigate Mr. Manuel Mata's case, where Officer Hoffman of the Fort Worth Police Department hit him on his bicycle with his police car. Then, when Mr. Mata attempted to get an incident report for that assault with a vehicle, he was arrested. Then, a few months later, now we have the body camera footage that allegedly wasn't available, where Mr. Mata was arrested, and then same Officer Hoffman and 7 other officers had body cameras, but none of those body cameras apparently were on or available, but we got one body camera. And that's something you need to investigate. It is clear that Officer Hoffman has planted cocaine on Mr. Mata and arrested him for that.
Thank you, Mr. Torlin-Kasi. I'm not going to play games about that sign. It should not keep creeping up and down.
Is there a policy on the books that says we cannot post signs?
There is.
Please state it.
I've already stated it.
Posted outside on the pages outside the room. I'll hand one to you in just a moment. If I could respond to Mr. Torlin-Kasi, I appreciated his comment about rape kits. Over the last 7 years, we have funded the testing of all the rape kits in Tarrant County. As far as I know today, I can tell you that every agency is up to date on their rape kits in Tarrant County and has been for some time. yes, those gun range costs are for investigators, because our investigators being, as you know, the first DA's office in the state of Texas to be a recognized law enforcement agencies, we actually go to gun ranges and and keep our qualifications up. So yes, it is investigative cost. I just wanted to make sure that y'all had that information.
Thank
Oh,
you.
and the information about the City of Fort Worth case, I do not know.
So, for the district attorney, I was gonna ask you to address the concerns that he brought up, but also, we are required by statute to do this since you are going out of office, is that correct?
Yes, that's why you're required to approve it. And, yes,
Is that your document?
it's actually,
Oh, okay, very good.
I took it.
All right, we've got a motion and a second, is that correct? We do not have a motion.
I move approval.
Second,
Now we have a motion and second. Is there any discussion? Please vote. Judge Whitley,
Yes.
Commissioner Johnson, thank you.
Yeah,
Motion carries unanimously with Commissioner Johnson having rejoined the meeting. Where are we now, Mr. Manius? Facilities?
Yes, sir, we are.